Hello there, my name is Grant Heineman, and for my Women's Oral History Report, I decided to do Ann Wilson. Ann Wilson is the musical director at my church, Forest Hill Church, and has also been my piano teacher for 7 years. She is also a musical composer, and her works have been played by orchestras around the world. She is the director of 3 choirs at my church. I look up to her because I see her as a role model. She's a kind, funny, caring, and compassionate person. I sat down with Mrs. Wilson at Forest Hill Church to ask her a few questions about her life.
First, we asked her to play one of her favorite pieces for us.
This is the Bach D minor prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier.
Okay, so we'll start right from the beginning.
I was born in a Navy hospital in Patuxent River, Maryland, where my dad was in the Navy and my mother was a nurse at that hospital. And I was raised in a lot of different states, in Indiana and Ohio and New Jersey, and then back to Ohio. My mother was a nurse and my father was a sales representative for a rubber and chemical corporation. Both of them played musical instruments in high school, but nothing too serious. They loved music and always had it playing in the house. I took piano lessons starting at age 6 and then organ starting at age 17. But when it was time to choose a major in college, I had no idea. I had just asked a teacher, "What do you think I should major in?" And he says, "Well, you play the piano well, why don't you major in music?" So I shrugged and said, "Okay."
Who inspires you?
When I was in middle school, your age, Grant, there was a boy named Gene Story who was a really good piano player, and he would play something for a school recital and I would immediately go out and buy the same music because I wanted to learn it and play it next year. He was better than I was, so there was always really challenging music. So he would play this Liszt piece and I would say, "I want to learn everything that Liszt wrote," and so I would go out and buy it and bring it to my piano teacher. My piano teacher wasn't very good then. She mostly ate chips and snack foods during my lesson and said, "Very good, learn a new piece for next week." I worked at a lot of different churches as a music director, organist, choral director. Cincinnati, Toledo, Ohio, Long Island, New York for 7 years, and then Paoli, Pennsylvania, and then Cleveland. So even though I've been here 25 years, I was a lot of other places before that.
Why do you like art and music?
Because I like beautiful things. They make me happy. There's a lot of not happy things in the world, as you know, if you turn on the news. And art and music are just filled with beauty and love and wonderful feelings. And everybody should love art and music. Well, I guess society would say, I won some organ competitions when I was in my late 20s and 30s, so that was kind of cool. I started the Greater Cleveland Classical Guitar Society.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not know that.
I don't even play guitar anymore. But the longest and most complicated composition I wrote is called Song of Hope, and it's written for 3 choirs, children, youth, adults, and a chamber orchestra of 8 players and soloists. And we had a performance of that here at Forest Hill Church last Sunday. It took about 50 minutes to perform, and very gratifying. And I think people liked it, and Grant Heineman sang in one of the choirs.
Oh, I did.
Almost every day when I see people in jobs that to me appear tedious, like if you go to Walmart and someone's a cashier, doing the same kind of repetitious work all day long, I always feel a pain in my heart that so many people in the world have jobs like that, where they aren't working with beauty all day long and lovely sounds and lovely images. What was the question? I forgot. Where was I going with it? So the best thing is that my life is incredibly varied. I don't do the same thing every day. I don't go to one place. I go to Cleveland Heights High School. I go down to Case. I come here. I work with different age groups. So there's so much variety, and it's all making music. Sometimes I wonder why people pay me to do it. Well, of course, a person of my age, the first thing that comes to mind is 9/11. How old were you then?
Almost 2, I was like.
Almost 2, so I'm sure you studied it in school, but to live through that very frightening time. It's many years past now. It's almost as if it didn't happen. Sometimes we forget how horrific that time was. And then something on a lighter note, I think just how technology has changed during my lifetime. I went to college and typed my term papers on a typewriter with eraser ribbon inside, and no computers or smartphones. And to see what you do, Grant, I mean, making all your wonderful movies, that's the biggest change probably. All right, well, I think I'm a pretty positive person. I truly believe in that kind of cliche, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade, I mean, not everything that happens to us in our lives is happy and pleasant, but there's so much good in the world and there's so many good things to do. I think, striving to find that happiness for yourself and for others, and so often you find that happiness through service to others. That's important to me, a motto of sorts. Jazz and classical. I mean, I was pretty much only classical until about 5 years ago, and then I started to get interested in jazz. My brother is a jazz professor down at Case Western Reserve, so I've always heard jazz in the house growing up and with my brother. But about 5 years ago, I started to take lessons in jazz, and now I really love it and play some gigs here and there, so that's fun. I'm a person that lives very much in the present, and so I don't think, oh, my goal is that down the road, but I love learning new things, so I hope that I can hang on to that into my continuing old age. Let's see, goal. I want to be a better jazz pianist. I want the opportunity to compose more music that people like. I want to become a better skier. Oh, Grant.
Yeah, this is home stretch.
Oh, I don't know. Meaning of life. People write books about that, don't they? That's like asking me, how do airplanes fly? I don't know. I mean, I have aspirations for all living beings that we can all live in peace, duh. But while we're here on Earth, I think we all have a responsibility to try to improve the situation of your friends, your family, and people in your community, to keep making improvements, and in yourself. But I'm not sure that answers the question. But I have to give that some more thought. That's not a spur of the moment kind of question. Good. Okay, that's good. Oh, this is another one. You should have given me some prior. Do you have any hints? Okay, here it is. Okay. Adventures.
Yay, that's a good one.
I like to have adventures, intellectual adventures, travel, new things in my life, new people in my life. Adventures. How's that?
That's really good.
Okay.
Before we do that, real quick, I know that you have an amazing cartwheel talent. You're super fit. I was wondering if you could do a cartwheel or something for me. She could do a cartwheel with the ease of a child. So, my interview with Mrs. Wilson had come to an end. And if there's one thing that I learned, it's that age is just a number. And Mrs. Wilson, if you're watching right now, all I would like to say is, never stop having adventures.
Thank you. That was really good. Oh, thank you very much.
I think I've heard that in...
A+.